All right, so this is Who is an Addict for the Narcotics Anonymous. Um, this is the chapter one. I'm gonna read a chapter every day. This one's chapter one. Who is an addict? Most of us do not have to think twice about this question. We know our whole life, and thinking was created in drugs in one form or another. The getting and using to find the ways to means to get more. We live to use and use to live. Very simply, an addict is a man or a woman whose life is controlled by drugs. We are people in the grip of continuing in progressive illness whose ends are always the same: jails, institutions, and death. Those of those of us who have found the program of Narcotics Anonymous do not have to think twice about the question. Who is an addict? We know the following is our experience. As addicts, we are people whose use and mind altering mood changing substance causing problems in any area of life. Addiction is a disease that involves more than the use of drugs. Some of us believe that our disease was present long before the first time we used. Most of us did not consider ourselves as addicts before coming to the Narcotics Anonymous program. The information available to us comes from misformed people. As long as we could stop using for a while, we thought we were all right. We looked at the stopping, not the using. As our addiction progressed, we thought of stopping less and less. Only in dispersion did we ask ourselves, could it be the drugs? We did not choose to become addicts. We suffer from a disease that expresses itself in ways that antisocial and might makes direction, diagnosis, and treatment difficult. Our disease is isolated from people except when we were getting, using, and finding ways and means to get more. Hostile, resentful, self centered, and self seeking. We cut ourselves out of from the outside world. Anything not completely familiar became alien and dangerous. Our world shrank and isolation became our life. We use in order to survive. It is the only way of life that we know. Some of us use misused, and abused drugs and still did not consider ourselves addicts. Through all of this, we kept telling ourselves, I can handle it. Our misconceptions about the natural of addiction included visions of violence, street crime, dirty needles, and jail. When our addiction was treated as a crime or moral deficiency, we became rebellious and were driven deeper into isolation. Some of the high felt great, but eventually the things that we had to do continued using reflected description. We were caught in the grip of our disease. We were forced to survive any way that we could. We manipulated people and tried to control everything around us. We lied, stole, cheated, and sold ourselves. We had to have drugs regardless of the cost. Failure and fear began to invade our lives. One aspect of our addiction was the inability to deal with life on life's terms. We tried drugs and combinations of drugs to cope with seemingly hostile world. We dreamed of finding a magical formula that would solve our ultimate problem ourselves. The fact was that we could not use any mind altering mood changing substance, including marijuana and alcohol. Successfully, drugs ceased to make us feel good. At times, we were defensive about our addiction and justified our right to use, especially when we had legal prescriptions. We were proud of the sometimes illegal, of often bizarre behaviors that are using. We forgot about the times when we sat alone, were consumed by fear and self pity. Let me say that. We forgot about the times when we sat alone and were consumed by fear of self pity. We fell into a pattern of selective thinking. We only remembered the good. Drug experience, we justified and rationalized the things that we did to keep from being being sick or going crazy. We ignored the times when life seemed to be a nightmare. We avoided the real reality of our addiction. Higher mental and emotional functions, such as consequences and ability to love, were sharply affected by our use of drugs. Living skills were reduced to the animal level. Our spirit was broken. The capacity to feel human was lost. This seems extreme, but many of us have been in the state of mind. We were constantly searching for the answer, that person, place, and thing that would make everything all right. We lacked the ability to cope with daily living as our addiction progressed. Many of us found ourselves in and out of institutions, like I have. The experience indicated that there was something wrong with our lives. We wanted an easy way out. Some of us thought of suicide. Our attempts were usually feeble and only helped to contribute to our feelings of worthlessness. We were trapped in the illusion of what ifs, if only, and just one more time. When we did seek help, we were only looking for the substance of pain, the absence of pain, my fault. We had regained good physical health, many times only to lose it by using again. Our track record shows that it is impossible for us to use successfully, no matter how well we may appear to be in control. Using drugs only brings us to our knees. Like other incurable diseases, addiction can be arrested. We agree that there is nothing shameful about being an addict, provided we accept our dilemma, honesty, and take positive action. We are willing to admit without reservation that we are allergic to drugs. Common sense tells us that it would be insane to go back to the source of our allergy. Our experience indicates that medicine cannot cure our illness. Although physical and mental tolerance play a role in many drugs, require no extended period of use triggers allergic reactions. Our reaction to do drugs is what makes us addicts, not how much we use. So I'm gonna end it right there. Tomorrow or later on after I eat dinner, I'll pick up. Um, I'm Brian Rendino from Syracuse, New York. Tune in, hit that subscribe button, and I got lots more good to come. Thank you.